Guys, how we doing? Good. Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you describe just your perspective of, being placed in this position? I know you've been in positions in the league before. You've taken over some duties during the season, but with such a small time frame, your reaction to it and just what you've done.
Well, certainly it's a difficult position, but I think opportunities obviously come in many different ways, and there just really there was no other answer when it was presented to me. Am I excited about the opportunity? Yes. Did it come at the wrong time? Yes. But I just got to put your nose to the grindstone and go to work. I mean, there is no other answer to that. So we're gonna again Coach Jagodzinski set a foundation. We'll move forward with the foundation. Did it catch me off guard? Did it catch some people off guard? Certainly it does when something like that happens. But there is no other decision but to just keep working.
Excuse me, did you have a conversation with Jag before he left? Did you get any words of advice or encouragement?
He came in and addressed the entire coaching staff when it happened, but one-on-one individually, no, I've not had the conversation with Jeff at this point.
What are your expectations, Greg, for this offense? What's the talent level you're dealing with?
Well, I think your expectations anytime you step into a situation is obviously to win football games, and we'll do what we have to do to win, whether it be throwing a football or running the football. But, I mean, I think that's the plan you present your offense and the plan you present your players. I think we've got some talented players at a lot of different skill positions. We feel good about our offensive line, our starting 5 offensive line. So, we think there's some weapons there that we can take advantage of, but we'll do what we have to do to try and win football games.
What's going to be different about your attack?
Well, obviously, when you take over a situation like this, it's difficult to make wholesale changes, certainly. But ownership, management did not feel that it was going the direction that they wanted. So there will be some changes, obviously, are going to be made. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made the change. So there will be some changes, but certainly it's difficult at this point with a week before the opener to go in and change your entire offense. So, going forward, there will be some tweaks in the system going forward, but the bottom line is we've just got to do things better with the system that we've already established.
Knowing how important Josh Freeman's development is and how far you've worked with him, what is your level of concern with what he may lose now that you're essentially doing double duty?
I don't see that as being an issue, to be honest with you. Again, it'll require more of a workload on my part, but as far as the time that they're going to spend with me, I will not neglect that duty as the quarterback coach. It's just going to require me to work a few more hours is what it'll end up. But they're not concerned about it. I'm certainly not concerned about it. And again, it's my passion, much like it was John Gruden's before me. I have a real passion for coaching the position. We'll decide when the season ends. I know right now, at this point, they do not plan on bringing in a quarterback coach, but that will be a discussion that we'll have again at the end of the season.
There's a lot of talk about driving the ball down the field, play action passing, but in preseason we really didn't see that yards per attempt. I know that you guys were after. Yeah. Can you talk about what you would do or what you're going to attempt to do to try to establish that or incorporate it? And you've always, the places you've been very successful throwing the ball. Is that going to be kind of an emphasis that you can bring?
Well, again, without wanting to give out any information to our opponents, to be honest with you, we've got some weapons, as I said. We feel real good about the running backs that are in that running back room. Running the football is important to me. I believe in establishing the run as an offense, and I think the pass game will grow from that. But right now, I just think our strengths right now as a football team lie in that running back room, that offensive line room, and it all begins, with those guys.
It was no secret on Raheem's part when he first got hired here that was going to be his emphasis, is going to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Has that changed in any way?
No, I don't think it's changed one bit. That was what was brought to me in terms of this opportunity here. And again, there was no other answer. There is no other answer for me. When they came to me with this opportunity, and I knew that again, it was not going to be at this point. It was too difficult at this point to say, come in and bring your system in and do what you want to do. So I'm going to run with the system again, with the foundation that's been set offensively. from here on out, and I met with the offensive players and said, from here on out, this is the direction that we will go, but this is a foundation that's been set, and we'll go from here.
At some point, do you want to get away from that a little bit more and sprinkle in?
No, again, I'm a big believer in the run. I really am. I don't think people appreciate that part of the game enough, and especially when you have, again, the room that we have, the room full of running backs that we have here. So, quite honestly, as Josh Freeman develops, the passing game will become a much bigger part of the Tampa Bay offense. But right now, where we're, our strengths of this football team are the offensive line, the running backs, the tight ends. You would consider the strength of this football team at this point.
I know you think all your backs are very talented, but have you seen something special in Cadillac maybe the last year?
I had heard so much about Cadillac before I got here, and of course I had a chance to see him when he was a rookie and obviously evaluate him coming out of college. And to me, when I saw him rehabbing a year ago, I was, it was really a pleasant surprise when he came through the season. I didn't think there was any way in that first training camp that I was here that he would be ready to play during last season. And then to see him go out and make some of the runs in that, specifically in the Oakland game, I thought, wow, okay, this guy's starting to look like his old self. And then I tell people it's probably one of the saddest experiences in my NFL career was when he went down in that game. But, we looked at him last May before we broke for the summer, the end of May there, and I thought, gosh, he's much further along than he was last year when I was here with the other knee. And I've seen a lot in this training camp. To me, he's further ahead than he was when we went to that Oakland week. I mean, he has made some very impressive runs in practice. You haven't had a chance to see him much in the preseason games, but he has been very, very, very impressive in practice.
How does Antonio Bryant look to you?
Excuse me?
Week or so
He looks good. We've been resting him. He's had some issues. He's had an inflamed knee, but so we've given him some rest. But he came out and practiced very hard today, the first day. So a lot of these players, I think they understand the business somewhat. They're not going to risk playing somewhat nicked up in the preseason. They want to make sure that they're fresh and ready for the regular season. And he had a good practice today.
So you kind of push and play a little bit in that last preseason game. Did he push you a little bit to get in there?
Yeah, he wants to play. He's ready to go. It's a little pit bull. He's ready to go. Thanks, guys.